carrying coffee.
And welcome everyone. Today's review has now brought us here for an extremely special and highly exclusive up-close and personal encounter with the all-new and completely refinished 2015 Hyundai Sonata Sport 2.0 Turbo. Now, our particular vehicle today is one of the many examples of brand new Sonatas you'll find here at Humble Hyundai out here in North Houston, Texas. And now, with all of that being said, this is going to be a complete and in-depth review of the all-new Sonata Turbo, and this does entail a complete startup and overview of the engine, as well as a good look at many of the unique and notable styling cues and multiple all-new features, technologies, and creature comforts that now make up this completely rejuvenated all-new version of Hyundai's heavy hitter in the competitive world of mid-sized family sedans. And so, bearing all that new information in mind, let's go ahead and climb aboard and we'll check it out. To begin with, our fully loaded Sport 2.0 Turbo Sonata tester today is wearing a rather unique color for the 2015 model year, known as Urban Sunset Metallic. Our particular tester here is also sporting the available Ultimate package for the all-new Sonata, features of which we'll cover throughout their appropriate times during the review. Now, just like most of the upper scale trim levels for most of Hyundai's vehicles nowadays, our Sonata tester has been outfitted with Hyundai's all-new sculpted proximity key. Basically put, you have their brand new key fob here, which is slightly slimmer and a lot more pocket-sized than the fobs of last year. Basically put, it provides complete remote-free access into the vehicle, along with a standard push-button ignition. Gaining entry into the Sonata is as simple as having the key fob anywhere on your person, such as I've just placed it here in my pocket. And as you just saw, just a moment ago, we just unlocked the all-new Sonata. And both the locking and unlocking is done through the small black square button hidden fleshly into the two front chrome-plated door handles. To lock and unlock, just simply hit it once. One beep indicates the vehicle's locked, hit it again. And two beeps now indicate that the vehicle's unlocked. And if you were to hit the driver's side door button twice in a rapid succession with the vehicle being locked to start with, the first set of chimes will indicate the unlocking of only the driver's door, while the second set of chimes will unlock the rest of the doors. And beautifully contrasting yet complementing the depth and shine and uniqueness of this urban sunset exterior, our particular vehicle's interior has been fully upholstered in a standard black premium perforated leather, with color-coordinated urban sunset piping and color-coordinated stitching running around certain portions of the interior. Now, to start this all-new Sonata Turbo with the proximity key fob system is very easy. All you have to do is have the key fob anywhere within the vehicle, then put your foot on the brake, then simply locate and hit this beautiful gloss black and aluminum accented engine start button in the dash to fire up the engine. And the moment you hit that button, you get that beautiful smooth startup with that newly developed 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Now, to really really make this all-new Sonata Sport Turbo feel as sporty and as sharp as it can possibly be, Hyundai has now outfitted this vehicle with a whole host of upgraded features and components, many of them specifically calibrated just for the Sonata Sport Turbo. For example, you have this race-inspired 3-spoke multi-function leather-wrapped steering wheel, featuring the race-inspired flat-bottom design that you would find in much more upper-scale sports cars. It's all feeding an electrically assisted rack and pinion power steering setup, providing effortless feedback, yet it provides a good bit of resistance, again adding to this car's high-spec sporty nature. As for the wheel itself, it provides a soft, crisp, yet supple feel to the leather surrounding the exterior rim. As you can see, the Urban Sunset color-coordinated stitching running around the interior rim of the wheel. As mentioned before, the flat-bottom race-inspired design, as well as full accents of dark brushed silver displayed across all 3 spokes. Now, as sad as it is, the Sonata Sport Turbo does not come available with any sort of a manual transmission. Instead, however, in its place is a specifically calibrated, electronically controlled Shift-tronic 6-speed automatic transmission. However, it does contain the usual manual shifting capabilities in its own designated part just to the left-hand side of the drive portion of the shifter. If you do not wish to take control of the gears manually, via the actual gear lever itself, Hyundai has now provided these large silver-painted paddle shifters located here on the back of the steering wheel, using the right one to shift up and the left one to shift down. Each one of them is very large and contains a small little ribbed backing to allow for a little bit better gripping capabilities, although it's not rubberized on the back like you would find in a little bit more of an upscale vehicle with the same paddle shifting technology. Now, as a part of the 2015 Sonata Turbo's Ultimate package, it not only contains this high-definition 8-inch touchscreen display, which is also complete with an SD card-based onboard navigation system, this vehicle also features a reverse parking system, which includes a full set of backup sensors, and also a standard reverse backup camera. So you just put the car in reverse, and as you can see, a full backup camera appears with trajectory lines that will actually contour in which direction you turn the steering wheel. Also, as you can hear, all trim levels from the most basic all the way to this highest trim level Sonata Turbo come with electronically controlled child protective safety locks, which automatically lock the vehicle once the car is put into gear and will only unlock once the car is put back into park and it's actually safe to exit the vehicle. Now, both the driver and passenger windows are automatic in both directions. And once you close the door to the Sonata Turbo with the proximity key fob in your possession, you can hear that the vehicle emits an audible exterior chime to let you know that the proximity key fob has now exited the vehicle. Now, as was the case with the previous generation of the Sonata, which lasted from 2011 until recently here in 2014, the all-new 2015 Sonata comes with a whole host of available engines and transmission choices. For some of the most basic trim levels, all the way up to the upscale Limited, the Sonata comes with a standard 2.4-liter dual overhead cam, 16-valve, gasoline direct fuel injected inline 4-cylinder engine, a slightly refined version of an engine that was in the previous generation of the Sonata. It produces 185 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque, gaining an EPA fuel economy estimate ranging from between 25 to 27 miles per gallon in the city and 37 to 38 miles per gallon on the interstate highway running on regular unleaded gasoline. The second available engine choice is available only in the Sonata Eco, taking over from the Sonata Hybrid from the previous generation. It features a turbocharged variant of Hyundai's Gamma Series 1.6-liter dual overhead cam, 16-valve, gasoline direct fuel injected inline 4-cylinder power plant. Now, the power figures have not officially been yet released for that, but it's said that the vehicle will officially achieve an EPA rating of over 40 miles to the gallon. And now we get to the highest performing Sonata of them all, the Sonata Turbo. Originally, it was outfitted with a 2-liter double overhead cam 4-banger equipped with a twin-scroll turbocharger and intercooler. It produced 271 horsepower and 269 pound-feet of torque. However, for this year, a slightly more refined version of that engine is now available. Raising the hood of our Sonata Turbo tester today, we find an all-new version of the same 2-liter dual overhead cam, 16-valve, gasoline direct fuel injected inline 4-cylinder engine equipped with things such as a twin-scroll turbocharger and Hyundai's signature dual continuous variable valve timing. In this case here, it only puts out 245 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. Now before anyone starts jumping on me figuring why did they decrease the power figures for this model year when the other one produced so much more power and so much more torque. Well, the whole goal of lowering the horsepower of this vehicle is that the power band, or the peak power band rather, comes in at a much lower RPM, around 2,000 RPM, rather than at higher RPM such as the 6,500 RPM redline. This vehicle also produces much more low-end torque, meaning that it is actually quicker to 60 compared to the previous generation. In our case today, it produces still some pretty healthy fuel economy estimates, scoring 23 miles per gallon city and 32 miles per gallon on the interstate highway, running on either recommended regular unleaded gasoline or the higher grade premium octane gasoline instead. And that's one of the benefits of Hyundai's cars nowadays. Normally, a lot of turbo and supercharged power plants are required to run on the highest available octane gasoline. Here in the US, that would normally be considered 93 octane. But the benefit of a Hyundai turbo engine, and that includes even things like the Veloster Turbo and even more higher upgrade engines such as the Tau 5-liter V8 found in the Hyundai Genesis and Equus, is the fact that they can actually run on 87 octane gas and 93 octane gas, though running on 87 does decrease the power and performance just a little bit. But now let's see about a few revs of that turbocharged 4-cylinder power plant and see what kind of soundtrack she produces. It's got a 4,500 RPM redline when stationary. Nevertheless, it sounds absolutely beautiful and definitely throaty, and you'll see why here in a second. But with all that being done, let's go ahead and turn on the headlights. These headlights are standard and automatic, and also these are the high-intensity discharge projector headlights compared to the halogen projectors that you'll find on other vehicles. It also comes with standard LED daytime running lights located below. And also we'll go ahead and turn on the hazard lights as usual. And with that being done, let's go ahead and explore the exterior of the all-new Sonata Turbo. Now, anyone who has known the Hyundai brand throughout the years pretty much knows that in recent years, they've been known for changing up the game quite a good bit. Now, here for 2015, we see more of their artistic fluidic sculpture design as was first released on the 2011 through 2014 Sonata last year. But up here at the front, you'll see a ton more available features and upgrades, and really all over the vehicle is where you'll see the most in technological improvements. Starting here at the front, this high-end Sport 2.0 Turbo features chrome and black bezel high-intensity discharge projector beam headlights. These are a much bigger upgrade over the standard halogen lights that you'll find on most other trim levels for the all-new 2015 year. Down here below, you can see these gloss black inserts as the vehicle does not come standard with fog lights. However, it does come standard with LED daytime running lights, which automatically illuminate when either in the daytime running light position or in the full headlight on position as you see here. Though when they're in their daytime running light setting, they're actually a lot brighter than you'll see them here. Again, here at the front grille, you can see a much bigger upgrade compared to the more basic trim levels of this vehicle. This car features a high gloss black finish for most parts of the grille, with a dark chrome finish accenting most of the front pieces. This large gloss black box portion here is your forward collision warning system as standard part of the Ultimate package. One thing thing you absolutely cannot deny is that Hyundai is known for creating some of the most unique colors for a lot of their all-new models. For the 2015 model year, some of the more unique colors for this vehicle include this awesome urban sunset metallic exterior, also colors such as a sort of mocha color known as dark truffle, and also on the Sonata SE, which has the Nouveau blue, which is sort of like a steely blue exterior. Now, just like most of the other available trims for the all-new Sonata, this Sonata Sport Turbo features its own specific set of wheels. These are 18-inch polished and painted aluminum alloys, with the polished section being right here and up front, with a darker gray painted finish running around the interior portion of the rim and along the spokes. The Sonata Sport, in and of itself in its 2.4-liter version, comes with its own signature set of wheels as well. And that basically can be said for pretty much all the Sonatas across the line, depending on trim level and spec. You can see more accents of the bright work running along the upper portions of the fenders and all the way around both the sets of windows. You've got monochromatic blind spot indication and LED turn signal equipped mirrors. You can see the little indicators here for your BLIS or blind spot indication system located in the upper corner of each mirror. You can see more of the gloss black finish surrounding portions of the inner portion of the mirrors. And in the front you can also see the intermittently timed rain sensing wipers. Also, as part of the ultimate package for the Sonata is this dual vista panoramic sunroof in which the whole front sheet of glass simply lifts up and folds all the way back to your black gloss finished shark fin style antenna, which is used for your Sirius satellite radio. As you can see, this higher spec Sonata Sport Turbo also features chrome plated door handles as you saw in the very beginning. Also a good bit of bright work running along the lower rocker panel. And once you come around to the back, aside from the obvious fact that you can tell that this really is the all-new Sonata, this Sonata Sport Turbo definitely differentiates itself in several different ways. For a start, compared to more basic models, this vehicle features a full rake of LEDs surrounding for the main taillights, with still halogen taillights and reverse lights. But one of the biggest key differences that you'll notice across the back is the addition of quad trapezoidal exhaust on both sides. Also, with this sort of two-tone dark and light gray rear air diffuser located across the center. If anything, it looks like the exhaust has kind of taken cues from the all-new Maserati Ghibli. If you've actually taken a look at the Maserati, you'll notice that they use sort of the same exhaust style design, and that's kind of how Hyundai is, taking a lot of key sort of design cues from much more upper-end vehicles and making them into a more affordable package. You can also see these gloss black sensors lining the rear bumper of the vehicle. There is no denying that this Sonata is truly a work of art. It just looks absolutely amazing from every angle. And at a price tag fully loaded under $40,000, you cannot deny that this is serious value for cash. Also, you can see here at the back, this vehicle has a standard rear deck lid spoiler. You can also have the option of deleting this in certain cases. This car also comes standard with rear heating defrosting glass. Looking down the side, you can definitely see the fluidic sculpture come into play. You have the door line running right here just above the door handles, followed by a small indentation and curve running just above the rocker panels. You can see this vehicle has recently received a very high rating from the International Institute of Highway Safety, or IIHS. Just an absolutely fantastic looking mid-size sedan. It's hard to believe that it's only been a few years since Hyundai really joined the game. And ever since 2011, with the introduction of their fluidic sculpture design on the 2011 Sonata, you can definitely see how they are continuing to change the game even more so today. But now that we've had a good look around the exterior of this Sonata Turbo, let's go ahead and take a better look at what makes up the interior. As stated previously, our particular tester is featuring a full black perforated leather upholstered interior, again with the color-coordinated urban sunset piping and color-coordinated stitching around certain portions of the interior. One thing that is definitely eye-catching is the piping on the seats. It really just adds its own little flair to the interior. And some of the other interior color combinations, you can have things like gray or things like kind of a beige color interior, each with their own separate color-coordinated piping or color contrast piping depending on trim. You can see this vehicle features a multi-way power adjustable driver's seat with multi-way lumbar support, brushed and turned aluminum sill plates, and as you would expect on such a loaded out vehicle, you do get plentiful amounts of powered amenities, including power mirrors, power door locks, automatic one-touch driver and passenger windows in both directions, the rest of your power windows, electronic window locks, and in this particular case, with this vehicle being fully loaded, a two-person memory driver's seat. Over here to the left of your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel, you have your lane departure warning, blind spot indication system, you have your instrument dimming, traction control, trunk activation, and also your gas door. The door closes with a very big, authoritative thunk.
Now, once inside the all-new Sonata Turbo, one can immediately sense that Hyundai has truly gone back to the drawing board to provide a Sonata that is both sporty yet luxurious to drive at the same time. Everywhere you look, the cockpit seems to rival, if not completely blow away the competition in terms of its complexion and design, not to mention the overall use of technology. While the use of materials does vary greatly, as is the typical case in most Hyundais nowadays, ranging from large and medium-grain leatherette panels across the dash to the sport leather bucket seat specific to the turbo trim. In front of you sits the only other available steering wheel in any of the Sonata models. This D-cut 3-spoke multifunction wheel is available only on the Turbo, while all other upscale trims feature a more conventional 4-spoke design wrapped in anything from leatherette to upscale premium leather.
In our case today, you can see it's fully furnished with all sorts of electronic buttons for all the creature comforts located throughout the vehicle. The small tab up here is the one that allows you to see all of your relevant information up here on your standard LCD display. So as you can see, you've got a standard compass, your lane departure warning, audio and video, tire pressures, and overall vehicle settings. And this does include the smart trunk access, which you'll see here in quite a bit. Going back, you can see vehicle range, average miles per gallon, active MPG, and also if you hold down the OK button, which is this small little left trigger here, you can completely reset everything. Other than that, it's cruise control. Also, you have your cancel button, which is kind of like canceling the cruise control. You also have your forward collision warning button down here at the bottom, and also over here on the left, hands-free Bluetooth controls, volume controls, and all sorts of radio functions. Moving over to the center stack here, this is where the ultimate package, or top spec package in this case, is really where it comes into play. You see things like this high-definition 8-inch full touchscreen display complete with its own SD card-based onboard navigation system. Now the navigation graphics are pretty simple to understand, and it's really nothing new as far as Hyundai's brand new technology. Everything is easily laid out, and the touchscreen response is actually quite good. You also have the availability to mute the navigation should you so desire. Also, if you wish to go back to everything else, just click on the home button and you can select things like all your different menus, such as radio, different music, a background image when you're cruising, Pandora Internet Radio, current location, navigation, and so on. And this whole screen pretty much acts like a smartphone because you can just simply scroll up and down, just as you would on like an Android phone or an iPhone of nowadays technology. This also includes a button for downloading all of your apps, your Blue Link system, quick guide, and also a new informative piece of technology known as SoundHound. Happily though, we happen to have a smartphone here, this one just happening to be my personal iPhone, and you can also see that I personally have SoundHound equipped on this phone. So you just push it, you see that it automatically opens the application, and basically what you do is you will hit the SoundHound button up here on the top. I'm not sure how well you can see that. And let's say you're playing a song on the radio, you simply hit the button, and it will automatically announce what song you hear. So for instance, let's turn on the radio. And there you go. It automatically tells you what song you're listening to, and it will also do active lyrics, which basically will allow you to sing along with the music. Now when it comes to the upgraded stereo in this car, this vehicle features a 400-watt Infinity Premium high-definition audio system with factory subwoofer and amplifier included.
They're going to be the musical guests on Saturday Night Live, not this weekend, which, by the way, is the beginning of the season, 40th season, but the following weekend. Maroon 5 on the Pulse, part of 2000s, and today.
Now this feature here is called Direct Tune, and basically, let's say you already know what radio station you want to get a hold of. So for instance, one of our favorite ones here is beats per minute, or BPM. Type in 51, click Done. And as you can see, as I mentioned before, the little SoundHound button, which is this little yellow circular sort of hurricane symbol looking tab up here in the upper right hand corner. Now looking down from your 8-inch touchscreen display, everything here is also available as a button. You have vehicle setups, vehicle information, your navigation, your map, your Seek Track button to allow you to flip through things such as radio stations, and also CDs put into your single stack CD player up top. Hyundai's Blue Link system, which is sort of like a informative and information system, and also a emergency system should the vehicle be involved in a crash. Also, hands-free phone, different media, such as your iPod USB and auxiliary input, and not to mention the radio. And down below, this is also where the ultimate package and the highest available trim levels really come into their own. Everything here is far upgraded over the more basic trim levels as you would expect. You have dual zone temperature controls on both the right and left hand side of the LCD display up here at the top. This vehicle also comes standard with 3-stage ventilated and heated seats for both the driver and passenger, as you can see on both sides. It also comes with automatic air conditioning, availability to turn the AC off, your fan speed right here in the middle, air conditioning introduction, and also air conditioning synchronization. Now with the synchronization off, you can see that only one temperature remains controllable. However, push the sync button, and as you can see, you can control both of the temperatures at the exact same time. You've also got air conditioning recycling, drawing in the air from outside, and also different climate zones and modes, and also front and rear defroster. Overall, very simple to understand, yet quite complex when it comes to upgrading the features over the standard air conditioning system. Moving down here below, you've got two 12-volt 180-watt outlets on either side of your standard iPod USB and auxiliary inputs. Now, as far as the shifter itself goes, it features a full leather trim shifter knob, complete with brushed silver accents around the front of the knob and also at the base of the knob as well, trailing off into a leatherette shift boot complete with the Urban Sunset orange color-coordinated stitching running down the center. It's all surrounded by the black piano veneer, light blue illuminated and also white illuminated numerics for your different gears and so on, and also the small little blue dot that allows the user to see what gear they're in. Located just down below the shifter, we find a small additional cluster of buttons, a couple of which are specific to Sonata trims equipped with the available Ultimate package like our loaded out turbo. The biggest change to all of this is that the car now features an electrically assisted parking brake, compared to the foot-operated unit like most of Hyundai's other vehicles and even the base Sonata SE. It's quite easy to use, however, by just keeping your foot on the brake and pulling up on the trigger to set, and pushing forward to release, all with its own separate indicator up on the dashboard. Other buttons down here include the auto hold function, which acts exactly like it says. With it on, should your foot slip off the brake, the auto hold will keep the car in place. This is especially handy when in tight parking spaces and especially on slanted inclines. However, the biggest advancement across the entire Sonata line is the button that's labeled Drive Mode. Using the vehicle's engine management system, the car can be set up for more fuel-efficient driving, as indicated by the Eco icon, normal driving, as to where no icons are displayed, or the full-spec Sport driving, which utilizes the power out of the turbocharged 4-cylinder power plant and really provides the most driver-focused experience of the bunch, and it's all indicated by its own separate orange Sport icon just outside the tachometer. All of these modes can completely change the car's entire behavior via transmission shift points, throttle timings, and other things such as steering input.
Now, as for everything else, it's all beautifully laid out. Continuing across from the dash, you have the same large grade material here across the door, more of the turned aluminum up here on the upper portion of the door, matte silver finished door handles, all of your different controls as you saw before, along with leatherette and stitched portions here on the lower portion or middle portion of the door. It's quite firm where you put your arm though it is sort of padded with the leatherette style materials as well. Moving down, you can see the standard cup holders down here in the lower portion of all four of the doors. Now looking up here on the roof of the vehicle, you can see all of your different controls for the panoramic sunroof and its available sunshade, and also your standard LED reading lights and map lights. You can turn them both on at the same time just using the small button. You have your button here in the center which controls the sunshade itself. You have the button for turning the lights on when the doors are open, and also you have your fully functional trigger for the full sunroof itself. Just push it back and it opens everything all in one go. And it opens rather quickly nonetheless. Now sadly, once you close the sunroof, you will have to automatically hit the secondary sunshade button to close the shade itself. But up top you can also see we have a standard mesh wind guard. As you can see, then you just hit the close button on the shade. And it's as simple as that. Also up top you can see your standard sunglasses holders and storage capabilities. And last but not least, up here on the mirror, although you can't really see it, there's the Hyundai Blue Link system. You have your points of interest, your SOS button, the small power button here in the middle to turn off the LED compass up in the upper right hand corner, and also your 3-stage HomeLink garage door opening system and synchronization. Overall, this Sonata Sport Turbo really shows the high performance and highly luxurious side of what Hyundai can really do, combining all sorts of luxury features such as leather upholstery and all sorts of upscale features paired with a beautifully sprung 2-liter turbocharged power plant. And with all that in mind, let's go ahead and turn off the engine. And as you heard before, this gets a little exit chime once you turn the engine off. And once you do turn the engine off, you can see active trip, you can see active fuel economy, and all sorts of vehicle warnings, such as the low fuel warning that was displayed throughout the review. Also, if you didn't see it before, once the vehicle is started and once it's turned off, the vehicle's memory seat setting will automatically go back to a certain set position. Now, once you turn the vehicle on, it will go back to the last memory setting depending on whether you had it set on driver 1 or driver 2. But now that we have all of that done, let's go ahead and check out the rest of the Sonata Turbo. Now, being that this is a mid-size family sedan, it competes directly with the likes of some of the big heavy hitters in today's economy, such as the Ford Fusion, Honda Accord, Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry rather, and Nissan Altima. But still, as you can see, it provides plentiful more features. For a start, you have these manually controllable rear sunshades like you would find in a much more upscale, maybe German spec or European spec vehicle.
And also down here, you have dual stage heated rear seats as a part of the Ultimate package in this vehicle. Now, as far as space goes, depending on where the seat is located, as you can see, even with the vehicle off and the seat located all the way to its furthest back position, I have probably about maybe 3 to 4 inches of room between the front of my knee and the back of the seat, all due in part to these nice little indentions here in the back of the seats themselves. Now, with the seat in its memory setting where I had it before, I would probably have a good half a foot or more of actual knee room and leg room compared to the back of most other vehicles that you would find in this category. Hence the reason on the Moroni sticker you can see it has best in class interior volume. Just love that dashboard, especially that 3-spoke steering wheel. Just so amazing. These seats are also 60/40 split fold, and they also come with their own leatherette bound center console here with dual split cup holders. And unlike most other midsize vehicles, there is no little pass-through into the rear. Now, as if this all-new 2015 Sonata wasn't technologically equipped enough, this vehicle now features a hands-free trunk release system, now known as the Smart Trunk System. All it uses is the detection of the proximity key fob within a certain distance of the trunk lid itself, without ever having to hit the proximity key fob trunk release button or using the touch-sensitive pad located under the giant Hyundai logo in the back of the trunk. Now, how it works is basically it's accessed and turned on and off through the LCD screen located between your gauge cluster. And how it works is basically once the vehicle is locked, and after about 15 seconds, so once you've gone inside the store you went to or whatever have you, and you have the proximity key fob in your possession, as long as the key fob has been away from the vehicle for more than 15 seconds and the doors have all been locked, the Smart Trunk access is now active. All you have to do is have the key fob anywhere on your person, walk up to the back of the vehicle, and as you can see, the vehicle will chime 3 times, and on the 4th chime will automatically release the trunk, allowing ease of entry into the rear trunk and allowing plentiful access into the massive storage capability that is the rear end of this vehicle. You can see the 60/40 split fold seats that we mentioned earlier, all accessed through these little pull triggers right up here on the top. Just pull to access, and as you can see, the small little red tipped portion indicates that the vehicle seats are now unlocked. As you can see, just pull on the seat, and assuming your seatbelt's not in the way like we've seen so many times before, all you have to do is pull on the seat and it reveals a much cavernous sort of entry here into the rear of the vehicle. In fact, it's actually big enough that some of us here at the dealership have actually tested this, and we've been able to fit things such as a full bicycle in the back. Although we removed the front wheel from the bike, you're actually able to fit a full bicycle frame and handlebars and everything into the rear of this vehicle. Now, one of the most impressive things about this all-new Sonata is its exterior and interior quality. Just listen when you close the door. A nice, soft, yet authoritative thunk. Much like a much more premium upscale vehicle, but again, all at a much lower price tag. Now, as far as people concerned with all of the electric safety creature comforts in most modern vehicles nowadays, the Sonata Turbo definitely does not disappoint. You have dual-stage front impact airbags for both the driver and passenger, a whole slew of side curtain and side impact airbags running along the length of the vehicle, pre-seat belt tensioners and also active head restraints, also including ESC or electronic stability control and anti-lock brakes as standard equipment. Also, as you can see, as a part of the Ultimate package, the passenger seat automatically becomes power adjustable, minus the power lumbar support. Now, stepping inside the passenger side of this vehicle, again, one thing immediately becomes apparent: comfort. The seats are nice and plush. These sport bucket seats definitely have a little bit higher bolster than normal, but nevertheless, it still provides plentiful amounts of comfort. One of the best things is for taller people, the bolsters stop right about shoulder height, so for those with more broader shoulders, such as myself, can fit nice and snug without ever having to worry about bolsters punching into your shoulders. As far as footroom goes, I can stretch out quite comfortably, and I'm about 6'1", so as you can see, I can stretch out quite comfortably and still be right at home. As far as the glove box is concerned, as you can see, it falls nice and soft. Plentiful storage capabilities for all your reading amenities and so on. And overall, this all-new Sonata Turbo definitely combines the best of all worlds. A high-strung, turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with all the luxury appeal and amenities that you would expect in a much higher-priced vehicle. Absolutely unbelievable. So viewers, I hope you've enjoyed this rather in-depth look at the all-new 2015 Hyundai Sonata Turbo. If you wish to contact Humble Hyundai about this particular vehicle or any of the others that you may have seen in the background of this film, please feel free to do so at humblehyundai.com, or if you live here in the local Houston metropolitan area, come visit their location at Interstate 59 North in Humble, Texas. Till then guys, hope you guys had a great time, and I will see you guys later.